A very good morning, students. Have a nice start of the week. Let's start the day with the data structure session. In today's topic, we are going to see about breadth first traversal. Before getting into breadth first traversal, let's quickly revise the previous concepts we have discussed so far. So this is your syllabus regarding the fourth unit. I thought of mentioning it in the first class itself. Anyway, look at it. So first we saw the definition, that is basic terminologies in the graph structure, then the representation of graph, types of graph, then two techniques, breadth first traversal, depth first traversal, topological sorting, biconnectivity, cut vertex, Euler's circuit, and the last is the applications of graph. Simultaneously, we are seeing the last topic so far by watching the videos and all. So applications of graph, we are touching this topic then and there when we are mentioning the concepts. So we have covered the terminologies, types of graph, and then representation. Yes, in the representation of graph, how many types we have? We have three representations used for representing the graph. First one is adjacency matrix, adjacency list, and the third one is the incidence matrix. Got it? In the Friday class, we saw two representations with example. What is adjacency matrix and then what is adjacency list? Hope you remember all these things. Have a look at it. Then we move on to the breadth first search. So this is your adjacency matrix. For any vertex, you have to find the adjacent nodes, and if edge is there, to that corresponding adjacent node, put it as 1, otherwise 0. So that is the adjacency matrix. Then we saw adjacency list. It's similar to the linked list representation. Just we are representing the adjacent nodes in the form of linked list. Hope you remember this one. Look at the diagram. We are having 6 vertices. Find the adjacent vertices for each vertex. For example, in the given diagram for vertex 1, what are the adjacent vertices? 2 and 4. So you have to connect 2 and 4 like a linked list, normal linked list. You know the representation of linked list. You are going to connect all the elements by mentioning the address of the next element. Here no need to give the address and all. But in the address part, we are mentioning what? What is the next adjacent node to 1? Then if any other node adjacent to 4, adjacent to 1 means if there are more than 2 nodes means you have to represent it after 4. Here only 2 nodes are adjacent to 1, so I have mentioned like that. Yes, in the last part, the corresponding adjacency matrix is given. Hope you are clear with these things. We move on to incidence matrix. Here in adjacency matrix, what we did for vertices. That is, the row is taken as vertices and column also as vertices. But here we are going to have vertices and edges. Okay. All the vertices should be mentioned in rows and all edges should be mentioned as columns. That is given here, m vertices and n edges. We move on to example, then we come to the definition part. Then only it will be clear. Okay. So let's see this one. So this is your graph. Is it directed or undirected? This is undirected graph. Here the edge name is given. Don't think that it's a weighted graph. Weighted graph means you will be mostly given the values, numeric values. Here the edges are given as E1, E2, E3 and E4. Is it a graph or not? Yes, this is a graph structure because there is some closed loop at one point. Here this is a closed loop. This one is also a closed loop. So we can call it as a graph. Here mention the vertices as rows A, B, C, D. Just there is a small mistake. So I have mentioned D first, then C. Or you have to change the values. So you can take it in order A, B, C, D. How many edges are there? 4 edges are there. So make it as columns, column names E1, E2, E3 and E4. Yes. So let's start with A. Incident means what? If any edge is incident on the vertex, okay, or if any endpoints are considered for an edge, we can call like this. So what is the endpoint for E2? What are the endpoints for E2? Endpoints means vertices that connect the particular edge. Those are called as endpoints. For E2, what are the endpoints? A and C. For E3, what are the endpoints? B and D. E1, A and D. So E1 is connecting A and D. Then E4, don't think E4 is connecting A and D. E4 connecting B and C. Yes, the endpoints for the edge E4 is B and C. Okay, so now we have to check the vertex with the edge. Now look at A. How many edges are incident on A? This is for undirected graph. So you can refer. So how many edges incident on A? 2 edges, E1 and E2. Yes, in this diagram it's clear. E1 incident, then E2 incident on A. So make it as 1. For the corresponding values E1 and E2, put it as 1. There are no edges from E3 and E4 from A. So make it as 0. Yes. Now we move on to vertex B. What are the edges incident on this vertex? E3 and E4. This E4 is connecting B and C. You can draw it in your notebook clearly. So E3 and E4. So for those edges, make it as 1. For other edges, you have to put it as 0. Then come to the last ones. This is the correct one. Don't take the actual one. I have corrected it. So for C, for the node C or the vertex C, how many edges are there incident on C? 2 edges, E2 and E4. So put it as 1 for E2 and E4. For the remaining things, make it as 0. Okay. 1 second. Now are you clear? Now go to the last vertex D. How many edges are incident on D? 2 edges, E3 and this E3 and E1, not E4, because E1 is connecting A and D. E1 and E3. So make it as 1. Put other values for other, that is other edge values as 0. So this is the way of constructing the incidence matrix. Got it? So the difference between adjacency matrix and incident matrix is this one. For adjacency matrix, we are giving what? Vertices as both rows and columns. Yes, for all the vertices, you have to mention the vertices itself as rows and columns. But here, rows should be taken, that is vertices should be mentioned as rows, A, B, C, D or the 4 rows. And edges should be mentioned as columns in the incidence matrix. Incident means you have to know the edge. The node that is edge incident on particular vertex. You have to make it as 1, other thing as 0. Now come to this definition. Look at the second point. The matrix formed by storing this one in the ith row and jth column. When we will put 1, if there exists a ith vertex connected to one edge of the jth edge, one end of the jth edge. That is I means ith vertex, vertex 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, jth edge 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. If there exists a path means you have to make it as 1. Otherwise, you have to put it as 0. If there is no vertex connected to that particular edge means make it as 0. Yes. So here, third point, we simply given it as incident matrix of I, j equal to 1. When it will be 1 if there is an edge Ej from vertex Vi. This is a common representation you have to know. But for adjacency matrix, what we are doing? Adjacency matrix of I, j equal to 1. If what? If the vertex Vi is adjacent to vertex Vj. That is the difference between incidence matrix and the adjacency matrix. If there is no edge means put it as 0. Yes. So these are the 3 representations of graph. So we move on to the traversal. Traversing means what? Visiting. In tree traversal, there is in tree data structure, we saw 3 traversal: pre-order, in-order and post-order traversal. Yes. So what is traversal? Visiting the nodes of the tree in any order. That is, you have to follow some rule. for visiting the nodes in the tree. That is the tree traversal. Same concept, but we are going to apply different algorithms here. Graph traversal means visiting all the nodes of the graph in a specific order. For that order only, we are going to use two techniques. There are two traversal techniques used in graph: breadth first traversal and then depth first traversal. But in generally we call it as breadth first search and then depth first search. But in traversal, we can simply call it as breadth first traversal and depth first traversal. The acronym for BFS is, the short form is BFS, breadth first search, and DFS means depth first search. Very, very important concept in data structure. So in breadth first search, we are using the Q data structure. Just for easy understanding, I have mentioned the point here. We will see in detail while explaining the BFS and DFS. Okay. In today's class, we are going to see in detail about BFS, breadth first traversal only, with a neat example. So normally in BFS, we are using the Q data structure. In DFS, we are using the stack data structure, because you are very familiar with the Q and stack data structure. Q follows the principle of what? First in, first out. In stack, which principle is followed? Last in, first out. Okay. So now let's see breadth first search. Searching means what? I'm going to search a particular node. Visiting. So we can mention it as breadth first traversal itself. Traversing means I have to visit the nodes in the breadth-wise manner. Breadth-wise means horizontal way. If I'm going to search in the vertical order, then that is called as depth first search. Yes. So let's see it one by one with example. Normally for a graph G, we are going to start from any vertex. You can start from any vertex, but the thing is you have to visit all the other vertices of the given graph using some technique. Here we are going to use the BFS technique. Okay. So now let's start one unvisited vertex as U, because initially all the vertices are unvisited. You have to mark it as visited. At the end, all the nodes. Suppose in my graph, if I have 7 nodes, means all the 7 vertices should be visited at the end of the searching. But initially, we take it as what? Unvisited vertices. Now, let's start with one vertex. Then, from that vertex, you have to find the adjacent vertices. What's the second point given? Then, all unvisited vertices VI, adjacent to you or visited. Yes, then you have to come to that another vertex, find all the adjacent vertices. Like that, you have to proceed. Okay, if you look at the example, you will be more clear. We will come back to this slide after seeing the example also. When the traversal will get terminated, when there are no more nodes to visit. If I have visited all the 7 vertices, means that's all. We can finish. We can terminate the traversal. Here the main very, very important thing we are going to use is we are going to implement the Q data structure. Why we are using Q data structure means to keep track of the order of the nodes, because we have to know which vertex is visited first, which vertex is visited next. Like that we have to know. Then only we will know whether that particular vertex was already visited or not. So here we are using the Q data structure. Yes. Before getting so these are the steps for implementing your BFS. Let's start with any vertex. We can make it as the start vertex. Once if it is visited means you have to make it as 1. Otherwise, initially all the vertices are unvisited, so it is 0. So if all the vertices are marked 1 means what? Your traversal comes to the end. Okay. So second step is what? NQ the start vertex. Let's move on to example. Then we come to this one, or you have just have a glance at it. NQ the start vertex. NQ means what? Inserting, adding the element into the queue. Initially, you are having an empty queue. You are NQing the start vertex. Then you have to DQ. Y means find the adjacent vertices of that particular vertex, then you have to DQ. DQ means what? Deleting the element from the queue. Okay. DQ the vertex, then find all the adjacent unvisited vertices. Suppose if I have 3 adjacent nodes means you have to place one by one into the queue. Then again you have to mark all the unvisited vertices as visited. Then you are adding the elements into the queue. If you look at it without example means you will get confused. We move on to example first. Then we come to this step on the pseudocode. Okay. Hope you all have notebook and pen with you. Before getting into this, I will tell roughly the concept, then only will be more clear. So look at this graph. Is it a graph or not? Yes. You are having 7 nodes. Yes. Just roughly I will explain. So let me start with the initial vertex as 1. Initially all the vertices are unvisited. I have not started the traversal. So I'm going to stay. It's not necessary that you have to start with 1. You can start with 2, 5 or 7. For this example, I'm going to start with 1. So NQ, for example, this is your Q data structure. Initially your Q is empty. Yes. So first I am placing 1. Okay. Rear and front pointing to 1. Just remember the Q concepts. So only we are telling all the concepts which we are studying in the previous units that will be linked at some point, anywhere in the forthcoming units. Okay. So first you put the UNQ. This is called as NQing, adding the element into the queue. Now, once you have NQ'd, immediately you have to DQ the element. When you DQ means find all the adjacent nodes that are I find all the adjacent nodes for 1, for the vertex 1. What are the adjacent nodes here? 2, 3 and 4. So DQ this element, put 2, 3, 4. So you have to remove this one. DQing means what? Remove the element from the queue. Okay. Listen carefully. It's a very, very important concept. If you have any doubt, stop at that point, unmute or put it in chat. Okay, you can unmute and you can ask. Because if you don't know means it will be very, very difficult to understand the concept. Feel free to stop me at any point if you have doubts. So these are the adjacent nodes. 2, 3 and 4 are the adjacent nodes. You know what are the adjacent nodes. So if there is a direct edge from the particular node, make it as adjacent node. Okay. So now what you have to do means you have to DQ all the nodes one by one. What's the next node to be DQ'd? 2. Once if you DQ means what you have to NQ? The adjacent nodes for vertex 2. Yes. Now you are going to DQ. You are going to pop this element. Pop, not popping, you are going to remove because push and pop are related to stack. NQing and DQing are related to Q. So I'm going to DQ 2. After DQing, what you have to do? Put the adjacent vertex of 2. Is there any adjacent node for 2? Yes, 5 is there. Suppose if no element, if 5 is not there means what you have to do? Go to the next element. Remove the element Q, element 3 from the queue and put its adjacent node as the next element in the queue. Okay. Yes. So what is the adjacent node for 2? Only one node, 5 is there. So remove 2. Where you have to place 5? Only at the end. Okay. Because we can add the elements at the rear end only. Don't put 5 here. It won't follow the queue concept. Okay. You are going to delete the elements from the front end. You are going to insert the elements at the rear end. Yes. So I have removed 2 and I placed 5. Now, what is the next element in the queue? 3. What I have to do? I have to remove. After DQing, what you have to do? Put its adjacent node. If no node means no problem. Go to that next node. So is there any adjacent node for 3? Yes, 6 is there. Place 6. Just adjust with it handwriting. Yes. So it means we have removed these elements. Don't place 6 in the place of 2. Only the element will be removed. The memory space will be present as such. And then what? You have to DQ4. How many times you have to do until your queue becomes empty? You have to do these steps. Now you are going to DQ4. If I am DQing 4 means what I have to do? I have to put the adjacent node of 4. What is the adjacent node for 4? You may have asked one thing. What are the adjacent nodes for 2, 1 and 5? 1 was already visited, so I didn't mention. Similarly, the adjacent nodes for 3 is what? 1 and 6. 1 is already visited, so no need to put. Just you are placing 6 only. Now come to 4. What are the nodes adjacent to 4? 1 and 6. But already 1 and 6 are visited. So only we are marking the visited node as what? 1. The node is unvisited means make it as 0. If it is visited means make it as 1. This is for our understanding only. Okay. So it's already visited. So no problem. No need to put again 6 here. You have removed 4. Now what you have to do? Remove 5. DQing. DQ 5. Then what you have to put? Put its adjacent nodes one by one. What are the nodes adjacent to 5? 2 and 7. 2 is already visited. No need to put. What's the next one? 7. So place 7 here. Yes. So elements are DQ'd one by one. What's the next element? The front is pointing to 6 now. You have to remove 6. While DQing, what is the next step you have to do? Find its adjacent nodes and place it in the queue. What are the nodes adjacent to 6 here? Anyone unmute and tell? What are
3,
the nodes?
4 and 7, ma'am.
Yes, very good. 3, 4 and 7. But how many nodes are visited already?
All the 3 are visited already, ma'am.
Yes, good. 3 is already visited, 4 also visited, 7 is also already visited. Okay. So what's the thing you have to do? You have to DQ the element. Yes. So DQ means what? Just I have removed. Now queue becomes empty. Okay. With this, you are going to stop the traversal technique. This is the technique behind the breadth first search. Got it? You are using the queue data structure. You are enqueuing the element. While dequeuing, what you have to do? You have to put its adjacency vertices. This is mainly used for finding the shortest path. We'll see one video in the next class because it will take time to explain the concept itself. In the last class, I told the traveling salesman problem. They're going to visit all the cities. In that, we can use the breadth first search. Yes, this breadth first search. How we are traversing? First, I am traversing 1. Then I have visited what? 2, 3, 4. Then I have visited 5 and 6. Then I have visited 7. This level, like in tree, we call this level as what? Level number. Just remember the tree concept. Level 0. Root is always at level 0. Then these nodes 2, 3, 4 are at level 1. These 2 nodes are at level 2 and then 7 is at level 3. Okay, so level 0, level 1, level 2 and then level 3. And the distance from the root node, that is your level. So you are going to traverse level order based on the level order. First I am traversing level 0, then I have finished all the vertices in level 1 because level 1 means the nodes are adjacent to the node which is present in level 0. Then I have moved to level 2, then finally to level 3. So this is the horizontal way I am going to traverse. So this technique is called as breadth first search. In other words, we can call it as a level order traversal. Remember it? This is called as a level order traversal. Okay. Now we move back to any doubts so far? Now we move back to the example. Just I have mentioned a few vertices for easy understanding. 5 vertices. Now let's take this example. How many vertices are there? 7 vertices. Now we are going to apply the breadth first search technique. I told already this is for undirected graph. Okay. This traversal is mainly for undirected graph. We can easily find the shortest path by applying the breadth first search. So you have to start from the vertex A. You can start from B also. You can try it in your notebook later after the class, or you can start from vertex B and you can apply the breadth first search also. If a graph is given like this, means they will mention the source vertex in the question. Assume source vertex as D, or they might have given some arrow mark like this. In the graph itself, they mentioned if there is a line like this, means this D is considered as the source vertex. Okay, sometimes if any particular symbol is not given, means you can treat A itself as a source vertex or the initial vertex. Okay, let's start from the A itself here. Okay, so this is my initial vertex. Select the vertex A as starting point. Initially, all the nodes are not visited. So they are marked as 0. They are treated as 0. Once if it is visited, means you have to make it as 1. Or you can color it. You can make it in a different color. And also initially your queue is empty. What's the first node I have visited here? A. What I have to do? NQ it. You have to put A in the queue. It is visited. Okay. Now, next what you have to do? DQ. You got it? You have to DQ the element. Then visit all the vertices that are adjacent to A. Find all the vertices. You have to put all the adjacent vertices of A and then delete A from the queue. Now look at that step 2. Visit all adjacent vertices of A which are not visited. That is important. If it is already visited, means no need to put again. Insert the newly visited vertices into the queue and delete A from the queue. Yes. What are the nodes that are adjacent to A? B, D and E. You can write it in any order. No problem at all. Okay. They put it as D, E and B. You can write it as B, E, D also. No problem. Because we are going to visit all the nodes one by one. That's all. So here D, E and B are the nodes that are adjacent to A. I have put like this. D, E and B. E, that is all the 3 nodes are inserted one by one. So now front is pointing to D and rear pointing to B. Look at the third step. Now what you have to do? You have to DQ. Because the front pointing to D only. So find the adjacent vertices of D. Then remove D. Then what you have to do? Find the adjacent vertices of E. Then DQ E. Like that you have to proceed. Because the element pointing to front, you have to find the adjacent vertices. Suppose I have mentioned in this way, B, E, D means first what you have to do? Find the adjacent nodes that is find the nodes that are adjacent to B only. Then you DQ B. There is no difference at all. You can write it in any order. Okay. Now visit all the adjacent vertices of D. What are the nodes that are adjacent to D? Normally, what are the nodes that are adjacent to D? A, A and E. A was already visited. E is also visited now. So no need to put those vertices again. What you have to do? Move the front one step ahead because you are DQing. Adjacent vertices கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டு DQ பண்ணிடணும். இதுதான் இந்த ரெண்டே ஸ்டெப் தான் இந்த BFSல மெயின் பாயிண்ட். Adjacent vertices already visited na no problem. You go to the next element. DQ பண்றது compulsory. Okay வா? So DQ பண்ணியாச்சு. Then now front is pointing to what? E. Find the adjacent nodes of E. What are the nodes that are adjacent to E? A, B, C and F. Either already visited. A and B are already visited. So what you have to put here? C and F. Where you have to place? After B. Because rear is pointing to B. So what you have to do? DQ the particular element D, then you are placing C and F. Sorry, DQ, E, because we are finding the adjacent nodes for E only. For E, A, B, C and F, A and B are already visited, so put C and F. Okay. E DQ பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறம் தான் C and F போடும். ஓகேவா? So it's insert the vertices and delete E from the Q. Now front is pointing to whom? Vertex B. C and F, last element, that is the rear position. Now what you have to do? Find the adjacent vertices of which vertex? Vertex B. Front எதை point பண்ணிட்டு இருக்குதோ அதோட vertices find பண்ணிட்டு you have to NQ after the rear position and then remove that position. These are the steps, important steps in BFS. What are the nodes adjacent to B? A, E and then C. B ல இருந்து டைரக்டா கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கிற edges தான் adjacent vertices. And then the node connect ஆயிருக்கோ those are called as the adjacent vertices. So A, E and C. மூணுமே already visited. So no need to write it, the just DQ. Okay, delete B from the Q. What are the elements present in Q now? C and F. What you have to do? Remove. You have to find the adjacent node for C. What are the nodes adjacent to C? B, F and G. Yes, B and F are already visited. What is the node not yet visited? G. So where you have to put? After F. Yes, place G and DQC. Q length remove பண்ணிடணும். Okay, now front pointing to F. Before DQing F, you have to find the adjacent nodes of F. What are the nodes adjacent to F? C, E and G. But all the three nodes are already visited. Yes, so remove, just remove F. Now front and rear pointing to the same element G. Find the adjacent nodes of G. What are the nodes adjacent to G? C and F. They are already visited. So what you have to do? DQ. DQ G from the Q. Now Q becomes empty. Once if the Q becomes empty means, it means that all the nodes are visited. I have given it in a thick dashed lines. In the B and C kulla line ku A, B kulla line ku difference தெரியுதா? Because என்ன ஆர்டர்ல நம்ம விசிட் பண்ணோம், ஆல்ரெடி விசிட்டட்னா நம்ம எடுத்துக்க மாட்டோம்ல. So in this way I have given the order from A, D, E, B, then from E, C and F. Okay, from C I have traversed G. In which order we have given? என்னென்ன ஆர்டர்ல adjacent vertices place பண்ணோமோ just I have mentioned that one. So this is called as your spanning tree. Now finally the Q becomes empty, so we can stop the BFS process. The final result of BFS is a spanning tree. I told in one class, spanning tree means you are going to find the path from one node to other node, just you are making the graph as a tree. By satisfying one condition, you have to visit all the vertices. That is important. Okay. So I started from A, then I have covered what? D, B and E. Then from E, what I have found? Adjacent nodes. F, C and F. For F, there is no adjacent node at all. From C, what is the adjacent node? G. So this is called as the minimum spanning tree. This one we can't call it as graph because there is no closed loop. There is no cycle at any point. So we are going to convert this graph into a minimum spanning tree. The final result, you have to write the order A, D, B, then what? E, C, F and then G. If I am traversing like this means I will visit all the nodes. This is the technique behind breadth first search. Okay. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts? I will stop for 1 minute. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. Just start from any vertex, NQ, add it into the Q, then find all the nodes, adjacent nodes of that particular node, place it one by one in the Q, then remove, DQ that particular element. Like that, you have to repeat the steps. Okay. Now we move to this one. Now you'll be clear. First thing, what's the first step we have seen? Select the start vertex. Once I have started means I have visited. So mark it as 1. NQ the start vertex. Then find all the adjacent vertices for the DQ'd vertex, because I'm going to remove that element. Which element I'm going to remove? For that, I'm going to find the adjacent vertices and place it into the queue. Then the fifth step, mark all unvisited adjacent vertices as visited. Then NQ all the adjacent vertices. Like this, you have to repeat. Repeat steps 3 to 6 until your queue becomes empty. This is the pseudocode. Don't get panic, just a simple thing. You're using function called as BFS with vertex S. And then you are going to use 2 more vertices, V and W. Your Q is named as Q. So there is a single letter Q, alphabet Q. Visited of S equal to 1. That means what? I am going to start from the source vertex. I marked it as 1. Then NQ S comma Q. I am going to NQ. NQ means adding all the adjacent nodes of S into the Q. That is NQ of S comma Q. When I will start while not equal to is empty. Initially, if the Q is not empty means you are going to follow V equal to DQ of Q. What I am going to do? I am going to remove that particular vertex. And you can print that vertex. After removing, what you have to do? Find the adjacent vertices for each W adjacent to V. Because you are going to find the adjacent vertices for V. Then for each W visited, what I have to do? If visited of W is 0 means mark it as 1. Pudusa visit pandringna mark it as 1. If it is already visited means no problem. Okay. No need to get into it. Then you are NQing. NQing what? W comma Q. First S comma Q இருந்தது, அப்புறம் V NQ பண்றோம், V DQ பண்ணிட்டு V ஓட adjacent vertices W, then you are NQing. This is the pseudocode. If you have doubts, I'll explain tomorrow also. So these are the applications, mainly for finding the shortest path from one vertex to any other vertex in an unweighted graph, to find the length and also to check if a graph contains cycle. If I'm coming to the same path means what? It means that a cycle is formed. Okay, mainly to construct a breadth first tree or forest from a graph. Forest means collection of trees, that is called as a forest. So with this, I will stop. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask. You can put it in chat also. Are you listening, students? Yes, I want to ask whether, because these two concepts are very, very important. Without knowing these fundamental concepts, we can't get into other algorithms. I told the Prim's algorithm, Kruskal's algorithm, etc. Okay, all these things follow these two techniques only. Graph means two techniques: breadth first search and then depth first search.